This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the Game of the Week. Today, the California Angels and the Oakland A's. A battle in the American League West, 1977 and 1980 timeline here. We know the A's are starting to fade, of course. The Charlie Finley auction of players has begun by mid-75-76. Not a lot of good talent left. And it is the dawn of the Ricky Henderson era, which begins in 1980. And the 1980 A's had that great pitching staff. But the California Angels are the class of this division. They would represent the American League West in the championship series in 1979, losing to the Orioles. So let's take a look at the overall standings in the American League West. And it is the Angels in first place, 14-7, and stunningly, a surprising Seattle Mariners team is a game back, and they've shocked everybody. They come out of nowhere. We might see them later in the season in the Game of the Week if they keep it up. But it's the Oakland A's. They're 8-13. They've always done well for me in Strat-O-Matic during these eras, even when their rosters aren't particularly good. I have a lot of luck with Oakland teams. They seem to have the same DNA then that they do now. I like to get on base. I like to draw walks. Guys like Sal Bando and Gene Tennis and Ricky Henderson and so forth and so on. They do that today in the present day Oakland A's. And that does very well in Strat-O-Matic if you can do that. The Angels, of course, have Don Baylor, the 1979 MVP, Bobby Grich, Carney Lansford. They have a very good team. And we have a best-of-5 series today, the second time the teams have met. Let me take a look and see what happened the first time around. So the first time around, it went 5, and the Angels won 3-2. And this is their second best-of-5 meeting. And when we look at the rotation for the series, opening in Oakland, it'll be Nolan Ryan in Game 1, Frank Tanana in Game 2, Paul Hartzell in 3, Ross Baumgarten in 4. And Oakland will have Jim Slayton, who they signed away from Milwaukee, because Milwaukee had 1 million starting pitchers. Matt Keogh, Wilbur Wood, who they pulled out of retirement from the White Sox. Though he retired with them, and the A's said, "Okay, man, we can give us one more year." And then Rick Langford in the 4-hole. But today we have Nolan Ryan for the Angels, Jim Slayton for the A's from the Coliseum in Oakland. Let's get started. Carney Lansford leads it off, and he strikes out. Ron Jackson, skies left. Vic Davalio strikes out. Bottom of 1. Ricky Henderson, 64 off the Ryan card, double 1-3 single. That's a base hit. Now, Henderson, a triple A stealer. Jim Essien, sounds like a guy Henderson would get a lot of stolen bases off of. Will attempt the steal, and a 20 is rolled and thrown out stealing. Wow, chalk went up for Jim Essien. How about that? All right, Dwayne Murphy, another on-base machine. 2 7s a K. And Mitchell Page. Almost clones of each other. 5-7 is a walk off the Ryan card. Page, a double A stealer, will try and steal with 2 outs, and he's successful. The SCNT rating is 1-9. We have a runner at second with 2 outs for Gene Tennis. 45 bounces to short. This is Kessinger, a 3 at shortstop for the Angels. He gives up a single dot. Page holds up a third. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. And Phil Mankowski will be the third baseman. 2-11 is a hit by pitch. Bases are loaded for Wayne Gross, playing first base for the A's today. 38 is a grounder to short. The A's managed to get two singles and 2 walks and not score. Top of 2, Bobby Grich, 58, bounce to short. This is Chapis, a 3 at short, makes the play. Baylor, 35 is a walk. He is an ace stealer. And catching is Tennis. Tennis has got a -1 arm, so let's see what Thad Bosley can do here. And 2-7. Thad singles to left field. Baylor, a 17 runner, thinking about going first to third with 1 out. And he makes it. So you got runners in the corners with 1 out. They're going to bring the infield up for Essien. 66 off the Slayton card. Triple 1-6. Single ... That's an RBI single. The Angels grab a lead. Up and hold for Dan Ford. 34. Center be question mark. Thad Bosley should be a good runner. He is. 16, 17, 18. Henderson's in center field with a 0 arm. So it's 1-18, and he scores on a sac fly. And with 2 outs is Kessinger. This guy's the center. Bottom of 2. Phil Garner for the A's. 4-11. Flies it in the left. Davalillo, playing left field, is a 4-6. That's going to be a base hit. Garner has some speed. He is a B stealer. But Poquette will bat. Tom Poquette. 2-2 is a Lomax. That's not good at all. And with 2 outs, Harry Chapis. 2-7's a single. Wow, the A's are wasting a lot of on bases in this game. Ricky Henderson, 58, is a strikeout. So they've put 6 men on in 2 innings and haven't scored. We go to the third, 2-0. Carney Lansford, 55, bouncer to second. This is Garner, a 2-18 at second base. He makes the play. Ron Jackson, 57's a walk. Vic Davalillo, 111. Fielder's choice, second to short. Davalillo's at first with 2 outs for Bobby Grich. 39 is a base hit in right field. Davalillo will not make the 3rd out at third. You have first and second with 2 outs. And here is Don Baylor. 64 off the Slayton card. It is gone. Automatic home run. All the offense today has come off of Jim Slayton's card. It's now 5-zip. Thad Bosley, 35. Homer 1-2, fly ball, and that's a fly ball. The minute we get an interesting hit off a hitter's card, I'll show you one. But it's been off all the pitcher. Dwayne Murphy, 68 is a walk. Mitchell Page, 1-3. That's going to be a base hit through the hole, holding Murphy at first. The A's, no stranger to base runners in this game, but they need to get somebody home soon. Runners in the corners. They're going to play back and hold. Gene Tennis. 4-10, bouncer to short. This is Kessinger, a 3-27 at shortstop. That's going to be single ... and the A's are on the board, 5-1. Phil Mankowski actually played for the Tigers. 78, signed in free agency. 1-8, let's take a look at a card. It's Phil Mankowski's card here. Left-handed hitting platoon third baseman. Always good to have an extra left-handed bat in the left side of the infield if you can. Double 1-10 single is a single ... and the A's got it going here. The tie run comes to the plate with nobody out in the form of Wayne Gross. 1-4, let's take a look at the Wayne Gross card. That is gone. 5 straight runs off of Ryan in the 3rd inning. 77, Wayne Gross had 22 dingers and a .233 batting average. And just like that, we got a tie game. Phil Garner, 52, pitcher. We have to consider breaking Nolan Ryan here at a certain point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. You need a hit and a walk to do it. Poquette, 1-6, guy's the center. And Chapis, 1-7, K. Double 5 in the 4th. Jim S.E.N., 37 is a walk. Disco Dan Ford, 48, pops to first. Kessinger, 62, skies to left. And Carney Asada Lansford, 111, bounces to third. Bottom of the 4th. Ricky Henderson, 33, grounds the third. Dwayne Murphy, ball 4. Ryan's put a lot of guys on. He would need to put 4 men on this inning to break him. Mitchell Page, 45, as a K, and with 2 outs. Gene Tennis, 1-7. Let's take a look at Gene Tennis card. 1-7, homer, 1-13. That is gone. Now, this Tennis card is a 79 card for the Padres, but he's one of the few Dynasty A players that they held on to. Virtually all the other guys are gone. Rudy, as a matter of fact, is on the Angels. Bando's on Milwaukee. Campaneris, I don't know where he is. But Gene Tennis is still here in Oakland. Changed history a little bit, kept them all around. Padres didn't seem to mind, I guess. That's a nice 2-out, 2-run homer, and just like that, it is 7-5. Mankowski, 1-9, another base hit. Nice day for him. Wayne Gross, 1-7, ball 4. The A's, I think he's broken. We're going to call him broken after 4. Phil Garner, 32, ground ball to short. The inning's over. 7-5 game. I might pull Ryan at the bottom of the inning if the Angels don't retake the lead here. Ron Jackson, 49, lines of short. Davalillo, 2-7 single. Bobby Grich, 55, second X. This is Garner, a 2-18 at second base. That's an inning-ending double play for Oakland. And we're going to do it. We're going to give Ryan a hook. That's just too many base runners. And I like to give this team's bullpen some work if I can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 base runners in 4 innings. Yeah, we're just going to call that an early day. Jim Todd comes in out of the Angel bullpen. Also another former Oakland and Seattle player. A lot of times teams like to swap division rival players, and they just move through the division instead of through all of baseball. So Jim Todd in the 5th will face Tom Poquette leading off. It's only a 2-run game. 2-3, pops are short. Ryan was just pulled because of excessive on base. Chapis, 58, short X. Kessinger again is a 3-27. He makes the play. And Henderson. Let's take a look at the Ricky Henderson card of 1980. His first big year with the team hit .303. Eventually he becomes a 1 in the outfielder, but he did steal over 100 bases in this campaign, so he's a AAA stealer. And can play center field as a 2, so that's what they do. 110 is single 1-4, line out to short, and he gets the single on the 1. So we are going to steal with 2 outs, and he's in there. Runner at second for Dwayne Murphy. 110 flies to right. That's 7-5 game for Slayton. His team dug him out of a hole here. Don Baylor leads off the 6th. 6-10, bouncer to third. This is Mankowski, a 4 at third base. What's the E rating? 4E14 is pretty good, but it's still in there. Thad Bosley, 39, single dot, 2 on, nobody out for Essien. 48 is a pop to first. Disco Dan Ford, 2-7's a base hit to left field. Baylor could score from second here, make it a 1-run game. Let's see, if it's 14, he's got to go. 17 is an outstanding base runner. He runs, and he scores on the 16. The left fielder's arm is 0. That would be Murphy. Eventually, Murphy would have a very good arm, but it's his rookie year, and it's only average. So Baylor scores. Bosley goes to third on the throw. We got a 1-run game here. Runners on the corners, 1 out, 1-run game. Up and hold, Don Kessinger. 1-8, ground ball to second. With the infield up, the runner from first goes to second. So we have second and third with 2 outs for Carney Lansford. The pitch to Carney. 2-10 is a strikeout. Slayton barely hanging in there with the lead. 7-6 Oakland. Bottom of the 6th. Second frame for Jim Todd. Mitchell Page leads off. 65, double 1-13 is a double. Gene Tennis, 66, off of the Todd card. Double 1-4 is a single on an RBI, and we have a 2-run lead again. California having trouble finding quality pitching. Phil Mankowski, 58, bouncer to short. Kessinger been tested a lot today. He's a 3E27 at short. That's a double play. Nice turn for the veteran. Let go, obviously, by the Cubs. He's very long in tooth by this point, but is capable of starting shortstop here in the late 70s. So the Angels said we need a shortstop. So, with 2 outs now, it's Wayne Gross. 43, skies it into left field. This is Davalillo, a 46 in left field. It'll be a base hit. Todd is early 3, so he's not broken. Phil Garner's the batter. 38, grounded to short. 8-6 game. Top of the 7th. Oakland's got a shaky bullpen, which is why Slayton's been in here this long. Slayton's a starter 7. With a 2-run lead, let's say he puts a couple guys on, then we'll hook him. Ron Jackson. There's not much defense. Oh, we do have some defense to bring in. We could bring in Chalk to play third. Let's do that. Let's help out our pitcher with some good defense. Dave Chalk will play third now for Mr. Mankowski. Do we need Glenn Burke in the outfield? Not really. We have all good defense already. So here we go. 8-6, top of the 7th. Jim Slayton against Ron Jackson. 2-9, grounds to third. Davalillo, 1-7 is a K. And with 2 outs, Bobby Grich. 46, skies to center field. Slayton gets through 7 innings somehow after a rough start with a 2-run lead. 8-6 Oakland. And as we reach stretch time, we have been listening to the wonderful Shuggy Otis Inspiration Information LP, Out of My Head, Sparkle City, Inspiration Information, all the great hits from your favorite and mine, Shuggy Otis. Okay. Jim Todd give us a couple of nice innings. They're going to turn it over in the 7th to Dyer Miller. Dyer Miller coming trotting out of the Angel pen to face Poquette. 58, bouncer to second base. This is Bobby Grich. It's a 2E14 at second base and makes the play. Harry Chapis, known as the shortest shortstop in all of baseball. He was shorter than Freddie Patek, I believe. 3-6, base hit. I think he was 5'6". Patek was 5'7", maybe. I want to guess. We can always check that in Baseball Reference, I guess. Chapis reaches with 1 out for Ricky Henderson. 1-6. You saw the card earlier. Triple 1-3. Single ... That is a triple. Ricky has hit a couple of the low results today, and he is 3 for 5 with an RBI. 3-run lead. Infield comes up for Dwayne Murphy. 52. Sac fly to center. Oakland's got it going today for a team that has struggled and under 500. They are putting it to the Angels. Mitchell Page. 49's a walk. Let's try a steal up 4. And he's zeroing out on the 20. All right, Slayton. I think he might take the afternoon off with a 4-run lead here. He will. He's getting up 6 runs. And we'll go into the 8th with Bob Lacey coming into the game for Oakland. Lacey and Jeff Jones at the back of the Oakland bullpen. Kind of shaky, but, you know. It's Don Baylor leading off in the 8th. 43, left X. This is Dwayne Murphy, who's a 2, and he makes a catch. All right, batting for Thad Bosley will be Joe Rudy. Let's take a look at Joe. Former Oakland A, current member of the Angels. Great defense, still here in the late 70s. The penchant for power against lefties. Looks a lot like he did for the A's in 73 here. Joe Rudy, the pitch to him. 1-7, homer, 1-3 fly ball, and he rolls a 4 and just misses it. Tough break for Joe. And with 2 outs, Jim Estienne. You know, we're going to have a pinch hitter for him too. Might as well. Let's bring in pinch hitter Cliff Johnson. Nice card here. Take a look at this card. This is the 77 New York Yankee Cliff Johnson card. Didn't he get into a fight with Rich Gossage in a spring training game or something like that and break Gossage's thumb or something? I can't remember the story. The Bronx Zoo. Anyway, the Yankees, he got expelled from the Yankees, and the Angels said, hey, you can help us win the West. So here is Cliff Johnson in a 10-6 game. Pitch to Cliff, 69, off of Lacey, is a pop to first base. All right, let's continue into the Angel bullpen in the 8th with Lance Ralston. Actually pitched for the Dodgers in '78. The only lefty in the Angel pen. Gene Tennis leads off the eighth. 50-10, catcher's card. This is Cliff Johnson, the new catcher. 4E, oh, he's the worst. 4E16. But he makes a play. Dave Chalk in there at third for Mankowski. 56 is a walk. Wayne Gross in there for defense at first. 2-10 is a base hit in the center. 2 on, 1 out. Phil Garner. 1-6. Let's take a look at Phil Garner's card. Garner was with the A's, and of course he ends up eventually on the Pirates. Helps them win the '79 World Series. Here he's still in Oakland. 1-6, triple 1 to 8, double. That's going to be a double. Wayne Gross will hold a third, and the laugher continues. 11-6, Oakland. Batting for Tom Poquette, the inventor of the high five, Glenn Burke. Him and Dusty Baker and the Dodgers invented it a long time ago, apparently. That's the video or the story that is going around. You can Google it, I guess. Glenn Burke, good defensive outfielder with speed. We got second and third, 1 out. The infield comes up for Burke. 1-7, single 1 to 10. Lines out on an 11. 2 outs, Harry Chappis. 46, base hit to left field. Gross scores. Garner 16, 17, 18 will run, and he scores. 2-run single, Harry Chapis. Oakland pouring it on here, 13-6. Ricky Henderson, 1-5 against the lefty. Homer, 1 to 10, double. And again, another low roll. He's hit single 1 to 4, triple 1 to 3, and Homer 1 to 10. That is gone. A 2-run blast for Ricky Henderson. My goodness. His rookie debut here in Strat-O-Matic. What a day. 1, 2, 3, 4 for 6. Needs a double to hit for the cycle. It's a 15-6 massacre with 2 outs in the 8th inning. Everything happening in Oakland. Dwayne Murphy bounces to second base. All right, 9th inning. Time to go to the pen to finish this thing off. Dick Drago will come on in to get the final 3 outs if he can with a 9-run lead. Dick Drago, former Angel. There you go. Dan Ford, former Angel, former Red Sox, former Oriole. Dan Ford, 56, double 1 to 4, base hit. Kessinger, 2-9, fielder's choice. New runner at first for Carney Lansford. 33, pops to second. And Ron Jackson with 2 outs. Slow roller to third base. Chalk makes the throw to first, and this game is over with. The Oakland A's have won the first game of the series. And the teams have now split 6 games on the season. You wouldn't know it in the standings, though, as Oakland has struggled mightily the rest of the time, but they do pretty well against the Angels. As the story was, Nolan Ryan was awful early. Drago gives up a hit in his inning of relief. Lacey gets everybody out. Jim Slayton was pretty lousy early. Hung on once his team gave him a lead. In 7 innings, it's 7 hits and 6 runs, 5 of which are earned, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. Ralston was awful. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 hits, 5 runs and a walk. Mercy. Dyer Miller wasn't any good either. 2 hits, 2 runs and a walk. Jim Todd, 1, 2, 3, 4 hits and a run. And Nolan Ryan gets the loss, the cherry on top, as the A's collect 20 hits. 10 hits off of Ryan in 4 innings. That's hard to do. Yep, 10 hits, 7 runs. They're all earned. How many walks is it? 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. All those walks really hurt him in Strat-O-Matic, it seems, more so than it would in conventional baseball. He really struggled in the summer league with his 72 card, and now he's struggling here in the fall league. 1-009, 0-108, 15-20, 6-8. 3-4-7-4. An easy win for Oakland, embarrassing the first place Angels. Let's see what this does, though, year-to-date numbers for the 2 squads, and this is where we'll see the troubles of the A's and the predicted winners of the West are the Angels. They cobbled together a lot of those fine pieces from other teams. Baylor, Grich, etc. The A's improved to 9-13, hitting .278, which is very nice, but it's a .464 team ERA that's holding them back. And in the rotation, Slayton only improves to 3-3. No other pitcher on the team has a winning record, and that's been their struggle. If you're wondering about Ricky Henderson through 22 games, Ricky is a 29 for 87. That's going to be 300. And he's got 17 stolen bases. 17 stolen bases in 22 games. Clearly on pace with that AAA card where he can just steal at will for a team that's not contending. He would prorate over 100 stolen bases with that. Now the Angels, 14-8, hitting .271 with a .458 ERA. Comparable numbers, really. Though I guess if you throw that blowout in, that would make their numbers look worse as far as the wins and losses and all that. That was Ryan's first loss. In 50 innings, he has walked 49 and struck out 63. It's Frank Tanana's had a nice year. He's 3-1. Paul Hartzell's been okay. The Angel bullpen has been pretty good. Mark Clear's been a good closer. He's got 5 saves. Offensively for the Angels, trying to find their top hitter. It's kind of tough right here. We have Disco Dan Ford batting in the bottom of the lineup there. He bats like 7th or 8th and has 26 RBI in 22 games. Clearly outperforming Bobby Grich and Don Baylor and so forth in the RBI department. Even part-time player Bill Sample has 11 RBIs. So it's been a team effort for the Angels. And for the A's, they like to play. They're playing spool at this point and opening the door, dare we say it, for the Seattle Mariners to contend in the American League West. The Mariners would then officially just be a half game out of first. And when I look at the Mariners stats, I'll pull them up right here. They're hitting .261 with a .350 ERA. They may have earned themselves a spot in the XL Game of the Week. Look for the Mariners to be coming up soon this year, hopefully, in the Game of the Week. Hope you've been enjoying this series. I'll have the full results of this series at the end of the video. Thanks for checking it all out. Oh, well, folks, California flipped the switch after that difficult loss in Game 1, after getting blown out. Game 2 in Oakland, it was a pitcher's duel between Frank Tanana and Matt Keogh, young Matt Keogh. The Angels got to Matt early for 3 runs. Tanana had a one-hitter through 7. And then I get a couple runs in the 8th, but it stays 3-2. Angels get a split in Oakland. Then the series shifts to Anaheim, and it's a different story. Paul Hartzell beats Wilbur Wood, who showed up in the Oakland rotation, as pulled out of retirement from the White Sox. They got to Wilbur early for 6 runs. That's all they would need. They win 6-2. And then in Game 4, the Angels win their 3rd straight over Oakland, 3-1. They have now won the season series, and they won this game 5-4. Again, scoring early. The A's were valiantly in this game late. A bunch of walks in the 8th inning off of Lance Ralston tied it. But in the bottom of the 9th, it's Bobby Grich. It's a single, driving the winning run in Game 4. The Angels defeat the A's 3-1 and remain in first place. Thanks for checking it out.